There's your Friday night moon. Bryce tells me that's a beaver moon. Those people have been going crazy. Yeah, I know. I was on the road today. Twice. The idiots were definitely out. So it looks really nice here now. Becky and I went to town tonight and started raining down the road and then quit. Stars out. Might be a little bit of ground fog out there in the hayfield, maybe. You get out of our little hole though, and ground fog's everywhere, and it's kind of foggy. But these guys, they come out here and chew on whatever they find. After they have dinner, which is usually after Becky and I have dinner, they usually come out and relieve themselves, but they haven't yet. It's been about an hour and a half. They passed out on the couch. Leave it alone. I don't care what it is. You don't need it. So they've done their thing, and now we can go back in for the night. Well, at least till we go to bed. They'll come out again for that. And apparently we're going to have Blakely tomorrow. Brooke her and another guy have to go up and load test for generators at Dornbecker Hospital in Portland. So that just means she's not working for Maury tomorrow. And that we get Blakely. So we'll get a little bit of Blakely tomorrow. Yeah, it's that time of night. Oh, focus. Get their last chance before Becky brings them out sometime between 1:30 and 3. It's up there. I just checked the weather app. Our low is supposed to be 35. Our low this morning was supposed to be 36, and we were 32. We're already 36. And the low won't be for another almost 10 hours, give or take. Actually, about 8.5 hours at least. So I think they all got done. It's time to go in. Not that you can see too good. It's a wee bit dark, but those are, 3/4 full, I suppose. Maybe not quite. I got busy with that one. There's basically enough there for tonight, which is going to be interesting because I'd like to get this cleaned again and at least scrape out here where I have to walk in a lot. Although not having rain for a couple of days, or not much of it, helps it dry out, so it's a little easier to clean up. But the fog doesn't let it dry out that much. And yes, it's foggy. I can't see the far end of the top part of the barn very well. It kind of looks fuzzier on the light. Tomorrow, we're running the calves through for their boosters. I hate doing that when it's cold. Not only because it's kind of hard to hold on to syringes, and it's kind of hard to do a lot of things when it's cold like that. But it's harder on them. So anyway, gotta turn the lights off and it gets dark. All I got left to feed is the bulls, and I don't remember if I took the chain last night or not. Hey, I didn't. Good. That means I don't have to try to find it out in the dark and open it or unhook it. So anyway, I don't know if I mentioned it yet. Those hubcaps came last night. Becky and I got back from town, and they threw them on the front of the garage. Looks like they just dropped it out the window, which I can't blame them because, you got red and blue outside all the time, and we left Rainy out while we were gone. And I am sure, especially with Rainy being right there with them, I know there's a light switch on this pole. If you put your arm through the halter, you can reach the light switch, unless you reach around it. You know, red and blue, sometimes they'll just stay below and let the delivery guys do their things. Good morning, Wally. How are you this morning, Wally? Yeah? Good morning, cowboy. Morning, bud. So, anyway, Ty sends me a message, says, yeah, it says he delivered them. Looks like they're on concrete. I hope they didn't just drop them out the window and damage them. I go, no, no damage. They put them in those, bubble wrap envelopes. And, you know, the things don't weigh anything, so it's not like their own weight's going to hurt them much. So I'm going to see if I can get that stuff done today. And like I say, I don't know how cleaning the feed barn's going to go. I still got to get material to fix that feeder, and I want to get that feeder in when the feed barn's clean. But on the flip side of that, get the feeder done. Doesn't take much to clean that center section out and put it back in. And while I'm showing, he looked pregnant out that side. Better not be. Probably the way he's standing. Keep in mind he's on a side hill and he's kind of on it funky. I am impressed that these two have gained what they've gained since they've been off the cows. Because they got to get back in shape. That, and he's still growing. Yeah, he is too, just not as much. Anyway, I've already got way too much video. Hell, I've already got a full video. You might not see anything else today. No, I'm kidding. I'll show you something. Finally got one back on. And I don't know, one thing I was thinking was on those caps, they were going to have to be deep. Well, when you don't have the spacer on there, they got to be deep. With the spacer on there, they go into that spacer. They don't have to be very deep. Wire wheel, both sides of the spacer, the hub. Back of the wheel was pretty good, actually. Smeared a little bit of sealer. I'll show you on the other one. Spin around. Say hi, boys. They're in here because they were tired of being locked up in the basement. Smeared sealer in here so that it's sealed between here and the hub. And coated all this on both sides with anti-sleeve. See, these are gonna, the nut only sticks out to about there. What do you think? And I know it's a little loose in this one. This is the spacer. The other one fits pretty good, so. And it's actually the other cap that I tried in both of them already. Oh, still got to get this one off. Get a zerk in it. Get some grease in it. Get it cleaned up. You know. And guys, you're here putting the floor in. Their boss, I don't think, is here yet. He ended up having to go check something else out this morning. So, anyway. And Blakely's here, but I haven't got her on video yet. Because I didn't do that the second she got here. And when Becky brought the dogs out from the basement, my hands were, well, I had the rubber gloves on, were full of that stuff. And my phone was laying up there because she called me, can I bring the boys out? They want to get out of the house. Okay, fine. So I was able to answer my phone without covering it with crap and threw it up there. So I didn't have it where I could get her. But she had Blakely with her too. So anyway, this side's pretty well done. I'm going to put some grease in there yet. And take a finger full of grease and smear the inside of the cap before it goes on. Because, yeah, this wonderful stuff, it's, you know, ha-ha. I don't even think it's actually chrome. I think it's just some polished up galvanized, but the inside is just a light galvanized. And condensation, it'll rust on the inside, and then you got rust in your bearings. If you smear that with a film of grease, it won't condense in there. But yeah, they're going to stick out a long ways. What do you think? little shaving on the transition piece, and it's glued in there, so I'm not going to walk in there and shift anything around, but there it is. And there's part of a box of flooring left. Those are all cut pieces. And I'm going to say that one and that one are whole pieces by the looks of it. Now the one guy says, yeah, there's a couple of planks short of a full box, so I think we got enough place we can use them. Becky says she's going to wait a couple days. Make sure that glue's set good before she does anything up here. Then I guess I got to put the molding back in. Yay me. So anyway, there's the new floor. There it is. I put more grease in. I sprayed grease on the inside of the cap, and that's what I need now. Pop that little bugger in there. Of course, you know, doing it on camera. There it is. This side, the cap actually fit snug enough, and I put a little Permatex around it, so it ain't gonna leak. It's solid. The way it's set, you can hopefully take the wheels off if need be. But if you're gonna take the hub off, you gotta get the spacer knocked loose. That's why they are smeared with anti-seize. And yeah, they wanted to come back in. It was flat out dumping earlier. Blue never stands at the door and whines unless everybody else is in here. And I was the only one in here. And Blue wanted in badly. This side, I did what I was trying to do with the other caps that we had that were definitely way too small. I will kind of show you here in a second. Because it was loose. It wasn't going to tighten up. I mean, I could slip it in and pull it right off. It was just that loose. So, being as close as it was, this happens to be the same socket I tried using the other day. And these aren't deep enough to really do it. It gets down and touches, but I just stuck it in the vise, pressed it on there carefully and evenly, and then I took the hammer. You can see how far down it was to there. I took the hammer and went around and just tapped all the way around, and it's tight now, as in it's very tight now. I still put some stuff on it, and it was probably a good thing I did when I did it, because we've got two new tubes of RTV up there in the drawer, but that old one, it was done. Couldn't get anything out the end, even after putting the screw in the hole to open it up. And oh yeah, gotta love these things. I don't know where that one came from. Oh, that's where it was. There you go. There's your cheap name, Cummins Tools. It's actually lasted a long time. It's got a partner up here that passed away a little while ago, and it's still, still work as a dead blow hammer. And I suppose I don't think we'll have a use for those two anymore. Go over here and the honorary jerry barrel. Jerry barrel was named after the guy I was on the fire department with, who worked for the local auto wrecking yard and scrapped. And we'd save stuff up and call him when we had more than enough. He'd come get it. Worked out well for many years. And he passed away. But that was the jerry barrel while he was doing it. So that's still the jerry barrel today. The others outside, they're just scrap barrels. And now I got a whole bunch of crap to clean up. I left everything laying out. That's where I found half of what I was looking for. Got a hole to put it in. Since they're done with the floor in the house, they don't have to go through the garage. So put our friend side by side back in there. and made a hole beside the 175 for this to back into. And the tin here on the back, it'll just hang over the blade and the trencher. I think I need to oil the wheels on that jack. So this is done. Done enough for me. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned it before, the bearings on this side, like brand new. White Hydrotex grease packed into them. They were hand packed. And I don't remember the spacer and all that crap, but I mean, Hydrotex grease in it, so obviously we did it, because at that time we were using Hydrotex and wasn't anybody else around using it. Nice and quiet. This one didn't make much noise anyway, it was the other one. But either way, they will both survive as long as anybody's going to need it. Just don't put that thing behind the pickup and go 55 down the highway. They ain't going to hold up for that, but you know, 10, 15 miles an hour, moving quarter mile at a time, last forever. I'm done for the day. No, I didn't get the pump out of there. I got tools picked up, at least off the floor, some put away. Fed with the lights on at night. I haven't done that in a long time. And of course I screwed myself this morning. I did not fill the cows' buckets for morning this morning, which I usually do, or the steers' buckets for tonight. So I had to fill all them so they're ready for morning, plus the steers' buckets for them tonight too. And since Ty took off right after lunch because she said Blakely was being a butt, Ty didn't feed hay here. I don't fit up there that well. At least I didn't nail my top of my head this time. I got a nice mark from the last time. And it's been raining all afternoon. Not too bad right now, but just about a quarter inch since lunch. Actually, since an hour or so after lunch. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope y'all had a good Saturday. And tomorrow I hope it's not doing this, because we gotta run calves. At least that's what I'm told. Not to mention everything else that should have been done. Thanks for watching, everybody.